Williamson has looked fantastic physically, which goes beyond simply the spectacular dunks and accumulating numbers. If you watch a Pelicans game, you'll quickly notice the 22-year-old's change in how he now seems to be in the greatest condition of his life. Williamson is in the finest form of his life, which is why he seems that way. Williamson has silenced his detractors with the turnaround after receiving unwarranted criticism for years about his weight and appearance. The metamorphosis is the result of a rigorous off-season conditioning program designed to get him back to an all-star level. Join us till the end of this video as we explore why the NBA world reacts to Zion Williamson's shocking body change. The unreal transformation. It's incredible to see Zion Williamson back on the NBA basketball floor after more than 500 days. Williamson looks fantastic upon his comeback, which is even better. Zion Williamson, a former Duke Blue Devil standout, has struggled to maintain his fitness ever since the New Orleans Pelicans selected him first overall in 2019, in part because of ailments that have prevented him from practicing and working out. Even under his contract, Williamson is required to maintain good physical health. His fitness shouldn't be a problem this year, however, based on how he behaved at the team's media day on Monday. Williamson looked significantly thinner when he arrived at the team's media day. After working out throughout the summer, he also acknowledged that his physical condition has improved significantly. Regarding his physical state, Williamson remarked, "I feel like I'm at my best right now, jumping higher and moving quicker. I feel fantastic." Williamson's dramatic physical metamorphosis drew a lot of comments from the NBA community. Damian Bartnick, a dietitian, expressed his admiration for Zion Williamson's weight change in a very noteworthy way. "Zion Williamson's weight loss has me in amazement. I hope his dietitian and trainer agree to an interview or something. I would want to see his diet and the calorie deficit he used to lose such a significant amount of body fat," Bartnick said on Twitter. Williamson has undoubtedly made progress. Williamson has made several attempts to debunk the idea that he's out of shape, but this ought to certainly put an end to it. An introduction to the dark days that started the NBA star's amazing change. Williamson was devastated and unsure of his future after a fractured foot ended his whole season. The Pelican star, though, put in the effort, both physically and mentally, and is now prepared to display his talent to the world. The track at Florida Atlantic University is completely black at 6:14 a.m. on a late summer day, with the exception of the dim rays of light reflecting from the wristbands of 3 runners who are diligently tracking their steps before the world rises. They go along at a leisurely pace, completely unaware of the athletic wonder nearby. A voice in the night says, "I can clock 60," and then he vanishes, a massive shape tearing through the dusk shadows. Another voice shouts, "They ain't ready for you. They're not prepared for you." Zion Williamson quickly surpassed his objective for his last quarter-mile sprint of the morning less than 60 seconds later, dashing through an unseen finish line to return to where he began. A third voice, Lee Anderson, his stepfather and instructor, exclaims, "That's exceptional." It's a significant turning point in the young Pelican star's recovery from a fractured right foot and a season-ending injury. For anybody, it is a fantastic accomplishment. On that September morning, though, the sun wouldn't rise in South Florida for another 49 minutes, and the joggers and soccer players who were running behind schedule had no clue what they'd just missed. The only actual witnesses are a reporter, a few family members, and Williamson's personal trainer. The trainer, Jasper Bibbs, comments as the team makes its way back to the FAU facility to complete the morning practice. "I personally haven't seen a man with his size at the NBA level with that sort of quickness." The Jazz guard Bibbs, who previously spent 5 years with them, adds, "There are certain guards who don't hit those moments." Even more enlightening, Williamson reached that time after having completed a 1.5 miles of warm-up running. Everyone else on the track would have seen a quick, well-built 6'6" tower of strength tearing down the straightaways like a larger-than-life Usain Bolt if there had been any daylight. Compared to the Zion Williamson who last appeared on an NBA floor on May 4, 2021, this one is notably more sculpted. Although still bulky and heavy, he seems to be considerably closer to his 285-pound undergraduate weight than the 300 or more pounds that were thought to have been on him during the 2020-21 season. 3 years have passed since Williamson, a singularly endowed combination of strength and elegance, a can't-miss superstar, a #1 choice with the personality to match his skill, snatched the NBA limelight. He is brilliant on the court, scoring 25.7 points on 60% of his shots, an efficiency that would place him among the all-time greats. But owing to injuries, he has only appeared in 85 games over 3 seasons. Zion hasn't soared in 17 months, leaving the world to ponder if he is still the prophesized prince, or only a phantasm gliding in the dark? When he finally returns to the court on October 19th in Brooklyn, what will he be? Williamson demonstrated his new frame in Florida after rehabilitating in Oregon. After a late breakfast at a 6,000 square foot seaside rental in Fort Lauderdale, Williamson, now 22, says, "They're going to see that I've grown off the court and on the court. They will also notice that my game has changed. I'm going to demonstrate to the world certain abilities I have that I haven't before shown." What we'll soon see, he claims, is a Zion who has, through the most trying year of his life, with a damaged right foot, a surgery, a setback, and a never-ending stream of criticism and derision from followers and commentators. Zion is unhealthy, they said, albeit in much harsher terms. Zion isn't devoted to the contest. Indifferent to New Orleans, Zion. From his teammates, Zion is distant. Recovery physically was challenging enough. The gloom was oppressive. Williamson claims that since he was unable to play basketball, "I was in a dark place at times. I was only able to do a few rehab exercises, then just see how the rest of the world responded. It was laborious. It had a big impact on my spirit." He implies that he is not through with the 2 daily exercises that started here on August 3rd, and with a strict new diet that his personal chef Jonah Lewis has advised, known simply as Chef JD, Williamson forgoes all other drinks and consumes water continuously throughout the day from a 2-gallon thermos. Williamson will soon try to recover his status as one of the best showmen in the game, a high-flying, rim-destroying nuclear reactor. However, he's now joining a Pelicans club that advanced to the playoffs without him, one that has a great playmaker in CJ McCollum, a star wing in Brandon Ingram, a new coach, and a whole new roster. In the 17 months that Zion has gone, a lot has changed. Then, he claims, so has he. "I've improved," Williamson claims. "I learned a lot about myself in the game," the player said. Zion Williamson views this season as a measure of how far he's come, how well he's rehabilitated, rebuilt, and matured in the 533 days between his previous game and his next one, as opposed to what the rest of us may perceive as a revenge tour or a Remember Me campaign. Williamson withdrew to the Pacific Northwest at his lowest point as the doubts and criticism became more corrosive, thereby stoking the exact fire he was attempting to avoid. Williamson had made the decision to continue his rehabilitation at Nike's picturesque campus in Beaverton, Oregon, which is just outside of Portland, in January. There, he would stay for 2 months. Officials from the Pelicans gave their approval for him to do so. In fact, it was Executive Vice President David Griffin who had originally suggested a change of scenery. Nevertheless, the news only sparked more criticism, feeding public perceptions of a rift between Williamson and the team, Williamson and New Orleans, and Williamson and his teammates. Looking back, a summary of Williamson's 8-week program's demands reveals exactly how much work went into his metamorphosis. The outcomes are the evidence. Even Gilroy could not grasp how Bibbs, with a lower body weight and body fat percentage, could claim, "I honestly believe he's a better athlete today than he was before." Williamson did exhibit the greatest version of himself to date when he made his comeback, tallying 25 points on 50% shooting, grabbing 9 rebounds, and making 4 steals in New Orleans' season-opening victory. The short-term outcomes have pleased Pelican supporters, and considering the effort he has put out, the long-term prospects are encouraging. What does Zion Williamson weigh now? What's a number made of? Williamson's weight is recorded on the Pelicans roster at 284 pounds for the 2020-22 and 2022-23 seasons. There's likely been a shift in Williamson's weight based on the most current picture showing his progress. Williamson has made significant improvement over the last 8 months, but Bibbs did not specify how much weight the young star had shed in the conversation with Gilroy. When asked about his weight in Beck's profile, Williamson replied, "When I step on the scale when we start training camp, I wonder if there's going to be any rumors about that." Williamson did not reveal his exact weight, but did note that he is much lighter than the 330 pounds that were allegedly attached to him. While the precise number is yet unknown, Williamson is in excellent physical condition. What do you have to say about this incredible body change of Williamson's? Come in the comments section below, let's hear you.